I know what you're thinking, oh here we go, another 2-minute video of B-roll shots put to music. I felt the video for this trip deserved more than just that, so here I am sitting in an empty beach car park talking to myself, and I'm going to talk you through our 5 days at the Nürburgring. Right, so we flew from Edinburgh to Frankfurt Hahn. It was a late night flight, so we arrived and just booked into this hotel. So the trip really started the next day, so day one. We went back to the airport and picked up a hire car, just a bog standard Renault Clio 1.1 litre, whole 49 horsepower. Later on in the trip we actually ran into a guy who had a very similarly spec'd black Renault Clio who did a handbrake turn for us, so very impressive. So yeah, day one, picked up the hire car, drove about 2 hours, hour and 45 minutes from Hahn to the Nürburgring. We arrived before our check-in time at our Airbnb, so we decided to go to the Nürburgring Museum. A great place full of anything from Formula 1, DTM, lorry racing and pretty much everything in between, both about the Nordschleife and the GP track as well. From there, on the way to our Airbnb, we stopped off at Brunchen, YouTube corner as it's informally known. Saw some of the manufacturers' cars testing there, just stuff like the AMG GT 4-door, next gen 911, the new Mercedes GLE 4x4, all in camouflage. From there we went to our Airbnb, dropped stuff off, went to go for a food shop, the boring stuff, made dinner. Later that evening we decided to go to Brideside and we had a look around all the corners there before going a bit further around and walking up towards the Foxhole and the Adenauer Forest. It was a good walk up that hill, very steep. Unfortunately when we got there the track had just shut for the evening, but it's still really cool to see the track, very nice evening light, got some cool pictures, good B-roll footage as well. Day 2 we decided to go for a walk from Brunchen round towards the Carousel, past like Wipperman and Hohe Acht. That took a good couple hours. The one thing that, I know everyone says this, but the one thing that you don't really appreciate until you go there is just quite how steep some of the corners are. You can play it hundreds if not thousands of times on a game or see it on YouTube and you still can't appreciate how steep the track is until you actually get there. Whilst we were there, again it was during the day, so it was just manufacturer testing, new models, old models. There was a few Nürburgring taxi companies doing a bit of practice out there, like Caymans and BMWs and stuff like that. By that point it had gotten to lunchtime, so we decided to go to the Devil's Diner at the Touristenfahrten car park. Pretty quiet at the time, there was a few nice cars. There was an Aventador SV Roadster and a very nice sort of baby blue MGA. From there we went and parked in Nürburg itself and walked from T13 down to just the bottom of Flugplatz. Again, another place where you can't quite appreciate just how steep some of the corners are and the camber on them and stuff until you're actually there. That evening we set ourselves up at Brunchen to watch a couple hours of Touristenfahrten. As with always, the track was shut for about half of that, get about 5-10 minutes of traffic and then the track would be shut. The amount of track closures is something you also don't realise till you get there, just how often the track's shut. There was a few days, I think on the Thursday maybe, there was a car that had flipped over and we were waiting in the tourist car park for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, and then the ADAC truck comes back with this car with its roof completely crushed in the back of it. It helps you appreciate just how dangerous the ring can be if you get it wrong. Day 3 was the Friday. We were a night up nice and early to go head over to Belgium for the Formula 1. This is the first time I'd ever been to a Formula 1 event. I'm a huge Formula 1 fan, so for my first event to be at Spa was just amazing. We were just there for the Friday, which was unfortunate, but it meant the tickets were cheap. We just got a bronze ticket, which means you can just wander around and stand wherever there's a space. Over the course of the day we managed to do a full lap of the track, and I know I keep banging on about it, but again, the thing with Spa that you don't quite appreciate until you get there is just how steep Eau Rouge is. The Kemmel Straight, although when you play it on games and see it in videos seems flat, it's still very much a hill. The undulation of the track as a whole is just something that doesn't quite come across on TV. Because it was the Friday, it meant we got to watch the free practice for the Formula 2, the GP3, 2 Formula 1 practice sessions and the qualifying for the GP3 and the F2. We decided to leave before the Porsche Super Cup as we had a good 2.5 hour drive home, and that didn't start until about 6 o'clock. Day 4 was undoubtedly the highlight of the trip. We each drove 2 laps of the Nürburgring Nordschleife and a Renault Clio 200 Cup rented from Apex Nürburg. We also had fantastic tuition from Janis, again from Apex, so big thanks to both of them. Once again, no matter how many videos you watch and how many times you've driven it in games, nothing prepares you for actually driving around the Nordschleife. The undulation of the track and all the feelings that you can't appreciate when playing it in a game really impact on how you drive. It really helps you appreciate those that do the 24-hour race, driving through that in pitch black for hours at a time. After the three of us had done our laps, we then headed back to Brunchen and watched a few more hours of Touristfahrten from there. That evening, as it was our last night, we walked around the fields surrounding Handbach, the town where Airbnb was situated. The views were spectacular, and it really helps you appreciate there's more to the area than just the Nürburgring. On day 5 it was time to head back to the airport. Spent a couple hours in the morning watching the Touristfahrten before going for go-karting at the Nürburgring centre. From there we headed 10 minutes south of Kelberg for lunch. As we were sat outside the cafe, we had a real moment of appreciation for just how cool the Nürburgring area is for petrol heads. All sorts of cool cars going past, Renault 5 turbos, old 911s, even MX-5s. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I would encourage anyone who ever gets the chance to go and visit the Nürburgring. It really is one of the greatest petrolhead places on earth.